before we begin going through these one by one. We're just going to take a step back here and admire this collection. I've been collecting these since I was little. Hey, what's up to all our friends of the channel? Welcome back. My name is Mike. For you guys joining me for the first time, this is my collectible channel. Before we start today's episode and get going over all this good stuff, I should mention that I do have an eBay store selling a good amount of horror as well as wrestling. So the link is in the video description, as well as I'll throw it up on the screen here. You guys can check it out. We're going to get going because we got a lot of stuff to go over today. Before we begin going through these one by one, we're just going to take a step back here and admire this collection. I've been collecting these since I was little. I was probably, let's see, I don't even have the first one here I bought. I got, I should say I got more than this. I have more than this in the closet. I have doubles and some cases triples, but technically, I think the first VHS I bought, I'll show it on film if I can find it in the closet, was probably this version of Halloween 2. But we're going to go in these in order of by movie. Show you guys my very first Halloween VHS I ever owned. That's this one. It's in super bad condition. I was not a collector back then. I was just an 8-year-old punk kid. And look at this. I can't even list anything like this on eBay. It's in too much of a bad condition. This one will be heading for the junkyard. You can even see I colored over the media logo there on the bottom, which would be sacrilegious today to do that to a VHS like this. Luckily, as an adult, I upgraded to a pristine copy of this. In addition to that, I learned about these VHS protective cases, invested in a bunch of those, so these VHSs will stay nice and clean. We're gonna pop this out real quick because I'm not liking the glare that it's giving me. Take a closer look at this Halloween media release. So here's this one. This particular edition, I believe it's from 1981. So this is one of the first times Halloween was on VHS. Something wrong with that? Indeed there is. That's all right. We'll cut him a break. Michael Myers wasn't as widely known back then, so they misspelled his name. Here's what we got going on the video label. The very infamous M131. And this tape is actually dated 1985, even though the case is dated 1981. This is the first incarnation of Halloween that I picked up. I'm not sure if my edition I vandalized or if it was actually like this, because this should be the exact same version that I have here. And it most likely is. Let's see what this one says. Yep, same exact tape. And you can see my hoodlumness right there again, strikes. All right, on to tape number 2. But before we do, highly recommend these VHS protective cases. If you are watching this episode, chances are you are a collector. And this particular episode, chances are you might be into VHS tapes and physical media. Definitely recommend these VHS protectors, and you can see exactly what they do. There'll be no dust, there'll be no damage, and these VHSs are nicely enclosed in these cases. As we get going here, I'm gonna just have these out of the case and ready to go. So that was my one and only public service announcement for buying a VHS protective case. On to the next release. This is Halloween, again, Halloween 1. This is also a media edition. compare these two and see that the lettering is larger on the side here. Again, with the M131. Well, let's see when this was. 1989. They used a couple different selections compared to the previous edition we saw. They used different promo photos from Halloween. But if I remember correctly, the label is almost exact to the one that we just looked at. A little darker blue, got a barcode there. So this is the 89 Halloween 1. So this one is directly related to the guy that we showed at the top of the show. And this is the Blockbuster edition. And since it's so glary, I'll just go over real quick that this is a brand new one that I have sealed in the package in the VHS protector. But I do also have this open version of it, which we'll be checking out. So this not only came as a single from Blockbuster. At one point, Blockbuster carried this as well as Night of the Living Dead, part of the display on the Michael Myers that I showed up. And these were $1.99 each. If you rented 2 movies, you could buy this for $1.99. What a steal. So I'm gonna open the box. Really cool Blockbuster label there. This is from 1995 dated. Right around the time of the Curse of Michael Myers is when that Blockbuster video display was in the store. And not only did they have this, but they also had the triple box set, which we'll be highlighting later, the following year. This was also included in that. And that's another story we'll talk about in a little bit. And here they are featuring for the first time the Ghost, Bob the Ghost, or Michael the Ghost, depending on which way you look at it. Got the good old feel-good Blockbuster Video logo there on the bottom. Lots of memories with that logo if you grew up in the 1990s. But yeah, that is the Blockbuster edition of Halloween 1. Up next, 20th anniversary edition of Halloween. This one is still sealed in the package, so I cannot show you guys what's inside. This particular one did include the Anchor Bay snow globe, which I do have. It's actually downstairs, one of my curio cabinets. This is the back of the package with Jamie Lee Curtis. And he seems to be getting a lot of love on these VHS tapes. This is like the 3rd or 4th one I've seen around so far. 1998 was the year of the 20th anniversary edition of Halloween. That's what we have here in this double VHS pack. And not only is it a double VHS set, but it was also limited to 40,000 copies. Are you one of the lucky owners? We pop it open to reveal 2 orange cassettes, which is a nice touch. Really cool looking VHS label there. Limited edition. Comes with, strangely enough, they went with the Halloween 5 keychain. 20 Years of Terror. Also includes this One Good Scare booklet. Got fingerprints all over it because my 5-year-old daughter, at the time she was a baby, she loved looking through this book. And I would cringe every time she would try to open it and look at these pictures. But this is a booklet that you get with this particular set. I see these on eBay a lot. It would be nice to have a sealed one. I think this also might have come with a postcard also. It'd be nice to have a sealed one in the collection, and then you see if you kind of move it a certain way, you can see the shape. So that's also cool. We move on to 2000. This is now the restored collector's edition. So we have these 3, which are very similar at first glance. Or even as similar as having the same number on the side to a degree. These 2. This one is 1 number up. So what I've noticed different about these, however, So this is a non-holographic. This is holographic. These are both full frame. And these are both brand new, so I'm not going to slide the tape out. One difference is on the side. Michael Myers is on one, and the poster art is on the other. Then on this one, the font is different across the top. Different font used than this other one. Full frame, widescreen. Also brand new, so we're not going to be opening this one. And unfortunately, this one doesn't fit inside a VHS protective case like these have because of the holograph. Makes it a little bit too thick. These are both probably going to be the same videotape on the inside. They look identical.
Identical.
And we got one without Annie. How about that? I got one right here that is out of the package. So we're going to check this out. And they ditched the labeling on the videotape. It just is printed right on the cassette, Halloween full frame. So this is the this is the 2000 release. We're getting towards the end of Halloween on VHS at this point. VHS would be history after a few more years following this. Last stop for Halloween 1 on VHS. I believe this is the last time it was released on VHS. And this is the TV version. So the TV version got the VHS treatment before VHSs became extinct. This is from 2001. And not only that, it is widescreen. My copy is kind of slit up the side here with the shrink wrap, but it is actually brand new. And on the back, we get a different variety of pictures on this case. We get Laurie, we get Loomis, and we get Bob the Ghost. And actually, yeah, 2001 Anchor Bay. One of the more sought after Halloweens on VHS. Does it have to do with this logo here? Does it have to do with this stereo here? If you don't believe me, just check out eBay. These things go for a ton on eBay. I've seen some go for upwards of $400 up to thousands. But this is the Halloween 2 1982 VHS tape. This particular box is in okay condition. I got this for a steal on eBay back in the day. I think I got this for like 20 bucks. And one thing Halloween 2 did multiple times over its releases was recycle the cover. Everything about the cover. Everything from the cover here, the logo, side logo, back photos, and even word for word all the way through. That was all recycled through at least the first 3 or 4 editions. And another thing they recycled was this label on the case. Let's see, there's a date on mine, 1983. So one of the first, sadly upside down, one of the first times Halloween 2 was on VHS. That also says 83. But however, this was not the first time I owned Halloween 2 on VHS. That one is coming up next. So just real quick, for the purpose of this video, we have 3 different Halloween 2 releases here. I'll show you what I was talking about a second ago. We have the 82, 83, the 87, and then finally the 1990 edition. I did have a 94. It must have got lost. I'm not sure where it's at, but it was the same exact thing as this, but the copyright date. So the differences here are this logo has now changed on this video cassette to this. If you look at the tape and compare it all around, same thing on the back, same artwork. We have a label that's on right, and we also have this label, which now says 1987. I got this one as a steal as well at a used video store for like $2. Same thing. This one does not have a front label. Has a label here. Also says 87, but when you look at the box, you know this tape might have just got mixed up with another one they might have had, because the box actually says 1990. Continuing down our Halloween 2 path, here we have our next Halloween 2 release. This is from Good Times Video. I got a receipt falling out here. Let's see if we can read it. Halloween 2, $12.99. And that's about what these still go for this particular one. So this one had the label fall off. I must have stuck it to the back just to keep it. It's a Good Times Video release. If you guys are familiar with Good Times Video, they're like the Wish.com of VHS tapes back in the day, compared to like a legit distributor such as MCA, like we saw for the Halloween 2. And real quickly, I'll go over that. We'll compare these tapes. So what I'm talking about, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this. See this big thing? A lot of tape. So that means that this is probably recorded in SP, as it was called back in the day, which improves your video output experience. Whereas Good Time Videos, who I called the Wish.com of videotapes, their video cassettes are a little bit thinner. So this is probably not as good picture quality, which is why they were able to sell their videotapes somewhat cheaper. I do have this open, and then I do have a brand new one in the package here. We are now on to quite possibly the most rare Halloween 2 release that's out there. This is very impossible to find. I've only seen 2 on eBay in the last year, and this just happened to be one of them. I never picked this up. They probably had it in the stores, but by that time VHS to me was a thing of the past. Came out the same year as DVDs began being produced. So I probably elected to pick this up on DVD, save my money, and not pick this VHS up. Also not a fan of when they started using different pictures from different films. This is from Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, but it's on a Halloween 2 videotape. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it's a cool picture of Michael Myers, but does not belong on this tape. So this is an extremely rare edition of Halloween 2. They elected to print right on the tape instead of print on here. And it looks like, I never even really checked this out. It looks like this tape is moldy, unfortunately. But this is the extremely rare Halloween 2 from Good Times Video, 1998. Again, we are at 2001, the very last time that Halloween 2 would be released on VHS. And this is that particular cover. Again, I never picked this up while it was in the store. Probably elected to pick it up on DVD. We are treated to a new Halloween 2 logo, which they use to this day. Jamie Lee Curtis on the side. No sight of any Halloween 6 pictures on the box, which is a good thing. We're back to Universal distributing instead of Good Times Video. And we're also back to a label on the box. A label printed and attached to the video cassette. Here I have a brand new one, which has never been opened. Straight out of the protective case. A near mint, 1987. The famous old MCA logo on it. Really clean copy I got here. Didn't own this until recently. Picked this one up off of eBay. And even on the inside, it's a clean copy. These are hard to come by. Some of these don't have the label anymore that you find on eBay. Some of them are like faded, some of them are scratched, some of them are half missing. This is a really clean tape. And I'm picky with the tapes that I buy now off of eBay to add to the collection, and this one was in near mint condition, so I got lucky with this one. 1994 edition, and I remember extremely well. They had a bunch of these on clearance at Media Play. Even though they say $5.99, I got them for like $1.50 each. I bought 3 or 4 of them and have since parted with those on eBay. This is my last one. I'm not going to part with this one. This is the only copy of Halloween 3 that I own, aside from the next videotape coming up. So we're not going to be able to take a look at this because it's sealed. Which brings us to this. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, a movie that I have documented well on my channel as far as filming locations and whatnot. This is one of my favorite Halloweens, definitely in my top 5 in the series. So I got one here that is open. We're going to pop it out and check it out. This is 1996 on Good Times Video. Here's a factory sealed one from Good Times Video as well. And just a very basic Halloween 3 label here. 1996 Good Times Video. So here we move along to my absolutely favorite artwork in the Halloween series. Simple and effective Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This was not the first time that I owned this on videotape. I had a used copy from the warehouse. Shout out to anybody out there who knows what the hell I'm talking about. So this is my sealed copy of Halloween 4 in this VHS protector. So we're going to move along to this guy, which is a not sealed copy that I own. We'll check it out. How can you not think that this artwork is gorgeous? Hats off to whoever came up with this concept. And similarly, hats off to whoever came up with this box design. This is all we need. Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis. Michael Myers is back. That's all you need to know. Michael Myers and Loomis, and the movie's going to be great. Then we flip this open. Here you see the label. Copyrighted 1988, first print. Another recent score off of eBay. I already had the Halloween 4 that I have opened. Never have owned a sealed one. This is a sealed Halloween 4. Brand new factory sealed. See the CBS Fox factory seal on there. This one is near mint. About as mint as you can get for Halloween 4. Does have a small tear here, but that's not a big deal. Got it at a really good price on eBay, and it is in otherwise excellent condition. Followed by a second release of Halloween 4, this time by Anchor Bay. So that means this had to have been 1998. Collector's Edition, Halloween 4. First time we got to see it in widescreen. And they kind of did something with the artwork a little bit different. They put a promo shot on the front cover, and then they put the theatrical artwork on the back. You know, this is when they were starting to put special features and stuff on video cassettes as well. We're gonna open this up and check out, I believe there's reversible artwork on the inside. So here's the reversible artwork that I was talking about. You got a promo shot there. Michael Myers and Bucky the Badass. And a couple more promo shots down here on the bottom. And lastly, a look at the actual video cassette. We are on to the next release of Halloween 4. This is a sealed copy, so I'm not going to be opening it. And this is the only good copy of this that I got. This is from 1998, and this is just a regular Halloween 4. Does not say if it's widescreen or if there's any special features like the one we just looked at. Chances are they're not. But this is that release of Halloween 4 from Anchor Bay. So we now move on to a film that is highly regarded as one of the worst Halloweens, but I personally enjoy this film, this Halloween 5. Another recent eBay pickup is this 1990 sealed Halloween 5. And this is much like Halloween 4. That is about as mint as possible as you can find these days. Sealed here on the bottom with that blue strip. It's got a little factory seal logo on there as well. And be sure to stay tuned to the channel because coming soon will be the locations for this film. In the process of editing my trip out to Utah, and my plan for now is to upload Halloween 4 in August, Halloween 5 in September, and then Halloween 6 filming locations in October. Halloween 5, this is my first copy that I've owned since I was little. It's a really bad condition, but it's the only one that I have that's open. This edition of Halloween 5 is still sealed, factory sealed, so we're not going to be opening it, obviously. Unfortunately, the label is peeled off on here. It does have the old warehouse label. For you guys who are old enough to remember the warehouse, this is a former video rental. This is a prettier box, so we'll check this one out. This is the box from Halloween 5. There's a lot wrong with this film, but I particularly like Don Shank's performance as Michael Myers. I love the score. Cinematography was excellent, so you gotta weigh the good and the bad, because there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad in this film. Halloween 5. So we're taking a look at the 2000 Halloween 5 release. This is from Anchor Bay. Very similar artwork to the original VHS tape until you flip to the side, and then the artwork is entirely different. On either side, you got Jamie in the clown outfit here on this side, and then when you flip over, you have the shape. And then entirely different on the back side as well. We have a different promo shot, and you have Danielle Harris there. Some Halloween 5 stats at the bottom. This is the 2000, last time Halloween 5 would be released on VHS. And I am a nerd, so not only did I have to own the normal edition, but I had to own this one with the different font and saying it's collector's edition. This is widescreen presentation. So if you line up, almost everything's the same. The only difference is they used a different picture here. This one has some special features and a different logo. Let's see what this tape looks like. Oh, there you go. Halloween 5. No sticker. And it appears to have been a Blockbuster video rental copy. Did we check out this one? I didn't think we checked out this one. Let's hop back on this one real quick. Probably the same thing. Yep. Halloween 5. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I have the screener and I have the original store sold copy. Both of these are brand new, so we can't look at the tapes on the inside, but we can check them out on the outside and surrounding area. Very similar on the side, very different on the back. And one thing I do love about this one, I've always loved that picture of Michael Myers, even when I was little. One of the best shots of Halloween 6. Unfortunately, they didn't use it on this cassette. I would have personally replaced that photo with that one. Or Dr. Loomis even, given this was his last Halloween. And then this is what we got going on the top. So 1996 also saw the release of this Halloween trilogy from Blockbuster. I never picked one up when I was growing up and buying video cassettes back then because I figured I owned everything and I wasn't quite the fanatic that I am now. I already owned Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween 3 in these exact editions that came in this set, so I passed on this. And regrettably, because there were times this was even $3.99 at Blockbuster on clearance. Did manage to get one on eBay with entirely brand new tapes on the inside. These go for about 45 bucks now on eBay. I was really picky with the one that I got because I like my sets to be near mint, and this is not a bad looking set in my opinion. But again, with the Halloween 6 picture, this has nothing to do with any of these movies. Not sure why they went with the Halloween 6 picture. I'm not complaining though because that's a badass shot. Really, really cool. And it makes a nice piece for the collection. Should have bought one in 1996. Or 2 or 3. And again, we have a screener and we have a store-bought Halloween H2O. Very similar cases. Both are sealed, so I will not be able to show off the tapes. Oh, just kidding. This one's not sealed, so we can check it out. So a printed on H2O demo tape on the label, or lack of label, is printed on the tape. On the side, they look exact. On the top, they look almost identical. And again, on the back, they look entirely different, just like the Halloween 6. But this time, they use the exact same pictures as the other box. One of my absolute favorite Halloweens when I was growing up. It's kind of fallen down the ranks for me a little bit, getting older. It screams 90s to me now. But at the time, this was in my top 3 Halloweens at the time it came out. If I just said top 3, I can now say bottom 3 because this is my least watchable Halloween film that I own. Resurrection. I am not a fan. I have the demo tape. I have the theatrical. I have the store-bought edition. Very similar on the cover. Entirely different on the side. Personally, I would have gone with this as the wide release. No hate on Jamie Lee, but I do love Michael Myers, and that's what I would have gone with. And then, again on the back, same pictures on each cassette. And that is Resurrection. Just want to let everybody know that I have an eBay store. I sell a lot of collectibles, including wrestling and horror. And the link will be in the video description, and it's on the screen right now. You guys can feel free to check out the listings I got on there.